Marcus Aurelius, philosopher, emperor, and father of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius was born on April 26, 121 CE in Rome, and stands as one of the most revered figures in the history of the Roman Empire. He is celebrated not only for his reign as emperor, but also for his philosophical pursuits, particularly within the Stoic tradition. His life, marked by both immense power and personal reflection, offers a rare glimpse into the mind of a ruler who sought to govern with virtue while facing the turmoil of an empire in constant conflict. His Meditations, a collection of personal writings, has endured through centuries as a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, providing timeless wisdom on resilience, ethics, and the pursuit of inner peace. That is what we will be focusing on in this essay. But to understand Meditations, we must first understand the man who wrote them. Marcus Aurelius was born into a wealthy and politically influential family. His father, Marcus Aurelius Verus, was a prominent Roman senator, and his mother, Domita Lucilla, came from a distinguished lineage. Early in his life, Marcus was marked for greatness, as he was adopted by Emperor Antonius Pius, a decision that secured his eventual path to the throne. His adoption was part of a broader political arrangement designed to stabilize the imperial succession after the death of Hadrian, Antonius's predecessor. Though Marcus's ascent to power was shaped by the political dynamics of the Roman elite, he was deeply influenced by his education. Under the tutelage of renowned philosophers like Junius Rusticus, who introduced him to Stoicism. Marcus's intellectual development was profound. Stoicism, a school of thought that emphasized rationality, virtue, and endurance in the face of adversity, resonated deeply with Marcus, and would shape both his governance and his personal philosophy. Marcus's life was marked by a series of fortunate and unfortunate events that shaped his rule. In 138 CE, Antonius Pius became emperor, and Marcus was groomed for leadership alongside his adopted brother, Lucius Verus. After Antonius's death in 161 CE, Marcus Aurelius ascended to the throne, ruling as co-emperor with Lucius Verus until Verus's death in 169 CE. While Lucius was a more military-minded ruler, Marcus focused on the intellectual and philosophical aspects of governance. The early years of Marcus's reign were characterized by internal strife and external pressures. His empire was beset by military conflicts, including wars against the Parthians in the east and Germanic tribes along the northern borders. The Meditations, written during these difficult times, revealed the emperor's inner struggles and his philosophical approach to the pressures of leadership. His reflections often revolve around themes of duty, the fleeting nature of life, and the importance of maintaining one's virtue regardless of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius's reign was defined by his devotion to duty and his unwavering commitment to the Stoic principles of reason, justice, and self-control. His military campaigns, particularly the Marcomannic Wars against the Germanic tribes, tested his leadership and resolve. Though not a soldier by nature, Marcus demonstrated exceptional strategic acumen and leadership on the battlefield, often personally involved in the logistics and morale of his army. In his governance, Marcus was known for his fairness and humility. Despite his absolute power as emperor, he maintained a sense of service to the empire and its citizens. He sought to enact policies that promoted the welfare of the people, including legal reforms and charitable efforts to assist the poor and underprivileged. His reputation for being a ruler who balanced the welfare of the empire with the virtues of personal integrity and philosophical contemplation earned him the title Philosopher King. However, his reign was not without significant challenges. The Antonine Plague, a devastating epidemic that struck the empire from 165 CE onward, killed a large portion of the population and caused severe economic and military strain. Despite these setbacks, Marcus remained a steady presence, using his Stoic principles to maintain resolve in the face of calamity. His personal resilience in such trying times only strengthened his legacy as a ruler who could withstand hardship with grace. Marcus Aurelius is perhaps best known today not for his military conquests or his political achievements, but for his philosophical reflections, which have been preserved in his Meditations. Written in Greek, likely during his military campaigns, these writings were never intended for publication. Instead, they served as personal reminders of his Stoic beliefs and practices. The Meditations offer profound insights into Marcus's thoughts on virtue, the nature of the self, and the role of fate. One of his central ideas is that individuals should accept the impermanence of life and focus on cultivating an inner calm that is unaffected by external events. He frequently reminds himself to act with humility and to remember that his power as emperor is temporary, as an idea that reflects the Stoic teaching that all positions of power are fleeting and ultimately out of one's control. A recurring theme in the Meditations is the Stoic practice of mindfulness and self awareness. Marcus constantly reminds himself to focus on the present moment, to live according to nature, and to rise above personal desires and attachments. His reflections on suffering are particularly poignant, as he grapples with the hardships of ruling an empire and the personal loss that often accompanies leadership. His ability to reconcile his public duties with his inner philosophical life has inspired countless leaders and thinkers across generations. Marcus Aurelius died on March 17, 180 CE, in the city of modern-day Vienna. During one of his military campaigns, he was succeeded by his son Commodus, whose rule marked a stark departure from his father's principles. Commodus's reign, marked by indulgence and misrule, is often cited as the beginning of the decline of the Roman Empire. The contrast between father and son underscores the enduring importance of Marcus Aurelius's character and philosophy, as his legacy endured long after his death. Though Marcus Aurelius's time as emperor was marked by war and plague, his philosophical insights have left an undeniable mark on the Western intellectual tradition. His Meditations became a key text for Stoicism, influencing not only later thinkers like Epictetus and Seneca, but also modern philosophers, psychologists, and leaders. His commitment to virtue, duty, and rationality continues to resonate with those seeking guidance on how to live a meaningful life, particularly in times of adversity. Marcus Aurelius's life exemplifies the integration of philosophy with leadership. He ruled an empire during a time of great military and social challenges, yet he remained steadfast in his Stoic beliefs, using his philosophical principles to guide both his personal life and his governance. His legacy as both a wise emperor and a Stoic philosopher has left an enduring mark on history, inspiring countless generations to seek inner peace through virtue, resilience, and self reflection. Today, his Meditations continue to be a testament to the power of reason and philosophy in overcoming the struggles of life. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminds himself of the natural order of the universe, emphasizing the Stoic idea that everything happens according to a larger rational plan, the Logos. He urges acceptance of this fact, advising that we must embrace our role within it, even if it involves hardship, loss, or suffering. After all, life is a process of change, and everything that happens is part of the natural flow of the universe. Our duty is to accept our fate and to respond with events with virtue rather than resisting them. In Book 4, Marcus writes, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." This reflects the Stoic practice of contemplating morality as a way of encouraging a proper perspective of the fleeting nature of life. For Marcus, virtue is the only true good, and everything else, including wealth, power, and pleasure, is indifferent. The Stoics believed that living a virtuous life, one rooted in wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, was the key to human flourishing. The purpose of life is to act according to virtue. This involves cultivating good habits, exercising self control, and making ethical decisions in all areas of life. In Book 6, Marcus writes, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This encourages the reader to focus on developing a virtuous mindset, as external circumstances are beyond one's control. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the importance of reason in guiding human behavior. Reason is seen as the distinguishing feature of human beings, and it should be used to govern one's actions, especially in the face of challenges. Reason for the Stoics was also seen as the means by which one aligns with the natural order of the universe. So you must cultivate inner rationality and use your reasoning mind to maintain perspective, especially when confronted with adversity. Do not be swayed by irrational emotions or impulses. In Book 5, Marcus writes, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, dishonest, and jealous." This reminder helps the reader prepare mentally for the challenges of dealing with difficult people, using reason to adjust expectations and maintain composure. A recurring theme in the Meditations is the impermanence of life. Marcus frequently contemplates the transient nature of time, the fleetingness of human existence, and the inevitability of death. By reflecting on these truths, he believes we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for the present moment and live with greater purpose. Life is short and time is precious. It is essential to live with intention, avoid procrastination, and focus on what truly matters. In Book 2, Marcus writes, "What we do now echoes in eternity." He reminds himself that our actions today contribute to the course of our life and our legacy. A major element of Stoic philosophy is the idea that we should control our desires, passions, and emotions. Marcus Aurelius often writes about the importance of mastering one's impulses and not being ruled by negative emotions like anger, fear, or jealousy. He believes that our reactions to external events are within our control, even if the events themselves are not. We cannot control external events, but we can control how we react to them. Emotions should be viewed as irrational responses, and it is through self discipline that we can maintain inner peace. In Book 4, Marcus writes, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This highlights the Stoic view that obstacles should be seen as opportunities for growth and self control. Marcus Aurelius believes that all people are interconnected as part of the greater whole of the universe. He often reflects on the idea that humans are social beings and that we have a duty to contribute to the common good, not just our own individual interests. He teaches us to act in harmony with others, recognizing that we share the same rational nature. The well being of the individual is tied to the well being of society. In Book 6, Marcus writes, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee." This highlights the idea that the individual's actions should contribute to the well being of society, and we should act in accordance with the common good. Suffering is a fundamental aspect of the human condition, and Marcus often reminds himself that hardship is not something to be feared or avoided, but something that should be faced with dignity. He believes that suffering can be a catalyst for personal growth and a reminder of the impermanence of life. Suffering is an inevitable part of life and should be accepted without complaint. The Stoic approach to adversity is to respond with resilience, fortitude, and an unwavering commitment to virtue. In Book 10, Marcus writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This teaches us that we are not victims of our circumstances, but have the power to control our mental and emotional responses. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminds himself to be grateful for life itself and for the opportunities that arise each day. He acknowledges that even in the face of hardship, one can find reasons for gratitude by focusing on what one has rather than what is lacking. Cultivate gratitude, even in difficult circumstances, and focus on what is within your control. Life is a gift, and each day provides new opportunities for growth. In Book 8, Marcus writes, "Today I escaped anxiety," or no, I discarded it, because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. This reflects the Stoic practice of reshaping one's perspective to embrace gratitude and peace of mind. Through meditations, Marcus Aurelius offers a guide to living a virtuous, meaningful life, grounded in principles of Stoicism. By accepting the natural course of events, embracing reason, practicing self discipline, focusing on virtue, and maintaining a sense of gratitude, we can achieve a sense of inner peace and resilience, regardless of external circumstances. His reflections emphasize the power of choice in shaping our reactions and how, through self awareness and control, we can cultivate a flourishing life, one rooted in wisdom, justice, and virtue.